Hello everyone, welcome back to my additional mathematics channel. Today I would like to introduce to you one of the most important topic, which is integration by substitution. For your information, this is a very important skills in integration. So today I would like to discuss how to derive the formula of integration by substitution. So as you can see, the formula is given in such a way: integrate bracket ax plus b to the power of n dx is equal to ax plus b to the power of n plus 1 dy by the a and dy by n plus 1. And don't forget, you have to plus the c. So as you can see, the formula is such a complicated formula, so you need to memorize the formula well so that you can apply. So again, I will show you the formula. Integrate ax plus b to the power of n is actually equal to the ax plus b power n plus 1 over a over n plus 1. Alright, so please remember this formula. Now we are going to apply this formula in solving exercise concerning integration by substitution. So before that, I would like to explain how we actually come up with this formula. Alright, so let's have a look of the concept first. So as you can see, if you are given dy dx equal to f prime x, when you integrate the dy dx, you will get the y. This is a very basic concept whereby integration is reversing process of differentiation. So when you integrate f prime x dx, you will get fx. Alright. So let's say y is equal to integrate ax plus b power n dx, where a and b are constant and n is the integer, and n cannot be equal to negative 1. So if we differentiate dy dx equal to ax plus b to the power of n, let's say u is ax plus b, let's say, because we are going to substitute u to replace ax plus b. So that means if we find the dy dx, alright, okay, we have to start with the u first, okay, u and n. Okay, so first of all, we will take the u n. Okay, that means we express the dy dx in terms of the u power n. So the u is actually representing ax plus b. Substitute, alright, substitution. So that means we will do chain rule. So we differentiate du dx, we will get a, and then you know, if you have the three variables, so you have to use a chain rule. So dy du is actually dy over something times the something over du, and the something should be dx, right? It should be dx. So we will write dy du is equal to dy dx, right, times the dx over du. So we actually use a concept of chain rule. So we change up the dy and du using dx. So therefore we say dy du is actually dy dx times dx d. So now we want to substitute dy dx is u power n, and dx du is not a, is 1 over a, because we have du dx. Now we want dx du is inverse, right? So we have to inverse a become 1 over a. So that means dy du is un over a, right? Okay, so we have successfully get dy du is u power n times 1 over a. I hope you understand. So now we are going to proceed. Dy du is actually equal to u power n, okay, over a, right? So dy du is actually u power n over a. So that is how we derive the integration by substitution formula, which is actually quite complicated. So that means if we want to integrate ax plus b to the power of n, we have to use the integration by substitution. So we will write y is equal to u power n over a du, right? We will make it as du to multiply by the u power n over a. And then, so that's why we have the du. Then if we substitute, will substitute u power n over a. Now we can actually integrate. Alright, we can integrate because we have the u power n and du. So it's the same variable. So now we are going to compare this, and the formula that we have is actually the same pattern, right? That means we are going to integrate u power n over a du, whereby the u is ax plus b. So we will get the over a, right? So the formula will come with a dy by a. That is explaining to you why you need to divide by a. Okay, that is from the concept that we got it from the dy dx. So now after you substitute, you can just integrate. So it becomes u n power, you have to raise up by 1. So u power n plus 1 over n plus 1, and you have to divide by a, right? So the formula becomes 1 over a. Then you integrate u power n, you will get u n plus 1 over n plus 1, and you have to plus the c. So that is how you come out with this important formula, which is so-called integration by substitution. Alright, so you have to make sure you understand how the formula comes from, and you have to actually memorize it so that when come to application of the integration skills, you got no problem. So I hope you can memorize this formula. Okay, always use the integration by substitution. When you see the power is it comes with a bracket, and the power can be positive, can be negative, right? Normally it's more than 2 or less than 1, because if it is 2, you still can expand, right? So if the power is more than 2, let's say 2x plus 3 power 3, or maybe 4x minus 4 to the power of negative 5, something like that. So we will use this formula, which is so-called integration by substitution. It's a very important formula, and you must always try to apply and use it so that you can memorize the formula well. Alright, so I hope all of you can jot down this formula, and we are going to apply this formula in solving all the exercise here. So y is equal to integrate ax plus b to the power of n dx. Let u equal to ax plus b. I'm explaining again. So the y will become integrate u power n dx. Alright. So now we need to convert dx to du so that we can integrate it. Because when you have the variable u, you must have the du. So the dx is how many du? That's why we need to differentiate. So du is actually a dx, isn't it? Right. That means du dx is a. That means the du is a times the dx. But we want dx, so dx will be actually 1 over a. So that means dx is 1 over a du. You just cross multiply carefully. So with the dx in terms of du, then only you can integrate. Alright, so dx is 1 over a du. So I'm explaining to you again because many students actually they cannot pick up this concept well. So dx is 1 over a du. So we substitute into the y. Right? After we substitute into the y, we will get y is integrate u power n. When we see dx, we will substitute with the 1 over a du. Alright? So that is why you can see there is a 1 over a, right? Okay, so when you integrate the number, the coefficient of x have to be dy. Alright, integrate. It's actually reversed with the differentiate, you multiply. So for you to integrate u power n, it's just you raise up the power by 1 and over the power raised up by 1. Then finally you have to substitute back your u, which is ax plus b, because you are using ax plus b as a substitution, right? So finally we will substitute back, it becomes 1 over a. When you see u, you substitute ax plus b, n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. So that is how you come out with this important formula, so-called as integration by substitution. So we are going to use this to solve all the questions here. Let's see the example 6 first. Okay, let's integrate by using substitution method. Find the indefinite integral for each of the following. So when you see indefinite integral, it means that the integration without the limit, and you will have to plus c. So let u is 3x plus 5. So we will substitute u into that. Alright, u is equal to 3x plus 5. So du dx first is 3. Okay, so du dx is 3. That means dx is 1 over 3 du. Can you understand? You cross multiply carefully. So the dx is actually du over 3 or 1 over 3 du. Now let's substitute 3x plus 5 as u. So we will integrate u with the power 5. But there is a dx, right? So for dx, we have to write 1 over 3 du, right? So integrate u power 5 dx must be written as integrate u power 5 1 over 3 du, because when you have the variable u, you must have du, alright? So then you can start to integrate because the variable u and du. So it's 1 over 3 u power 6, 5 plus 1 becomes 6, right? Dy by the power 5 plus 1, which is 6. And you have to plus c, alright? So finally, you will get the answer, and you have to substitute back u as 3x plus 5, alright? Alright, so let's see b. For this one, we will write u as 5x plus 2, and du dx will be getting 5, right? Because you differentiate the 5x, you will get 5. So that means dx is 1 over 5 du, alright? So after you get the dx, which is 1 over 5 du, now we will substitute 5x plus 2 as u, and we will substitute dx as 1 over 5 du. That is why we call as integration by substitution. We have to substitute, right? Okay, don't forget square root is actually power half. Integrate u power half. When we see dx, we will write 1 over 5 du, right? Okay, now it seems like we are having u and du. When we integrate, we will actually raise the power by 1. So u 1 over 2 plus 1 become u 3 over 2. And we have to divide by 3 over 2. So whenever you divide by a fraction, you have to inverse the fraction, right? And finally, you substitute back all the u inside to get the answer in terms of the x and plus the c, because this is actually indefinite integral. Okay, so let's have a look of the example 7. For this example, we are going to do in a faster way. That means we will try to use the shortcut. So let's see how to do. We will actually just take the power raised up by 1 and then over the power raised up by 1 and divide by the a, which is negative 3, right? Okay, so let's do it now. Integrate 2 minus 3x to the power of 4 dx is equivalent to 2 minus 3x to the power of 5 and divide by 5 because of 4 plus 1. And we have to divide by the a, which is negative 3, is divide, alright? So we always take the power plus 1 and then we divide by the number multiplied by x, which is so-called coefficient of the x, okay, which is negative 3, alright? So that is a shortcut. So I want you all to use a shortcut for integration by substitution. Alright, so just copy is a negative 1 over 15, right? So it's 2 minus 3x to the power of 5 over negative 15 plus c. Now let's see this question. You have to express in the ax plus b to the power of n. Then when we integrate, we can actually just focus to the 3. We can factorize out first. You can copy down the 3 and we focus to 5x minus 3 to the power of negative 6. We integrate for this using the shortcut. So you will get 5x minus 3, okay, to the power of negative 6 plus 1, alright? And you have to divide by the negative 6 plus 1, which is negative 5. And also, don't forget, you have to divide by the number that multiplied by x, which is 5. Okay, don't forget this. This is very important and many students tend to forget. And it is a divide, okay, not multiply. So you don't forget this one is indefinite integral. So you have to plus the c, alright? So this is the final answer. So we will simplify the answer to the simplest form, which is 3 over, okay, you have to times the 5x minus 3 to the power of 5 and then plus c. Okay, so let's do the exercise 3.3. We have a, b, c. Okay, we are going to use integration by substitution method for this indefinite integral. Okay, let's see question number A. For A, we are going to integrate x minus 3 to the power of 2 dx. So let's use the long way. Let u equal to, for A is x minus 3, right? That is actually in linear form inside the bracket. For the B is actually 3x minus 5. And then for the C is inside the bracket is 5x minus 2, right? So we will actually just let u equivalent to whatever inside the bracket, right? So now we do du dx one by one. For A, du dx is 1. For B, du dx is 3. And for the C, du dx is 5, alright? So now we are going to write dx in terms of du. So dx equal to du. Dx is 1 over 3, right? 1 over 3 du. And then for the C, dx is 1 over 5 du, right? Okay, so we are going to substitute because this is integration by substitution. So I'm going to substitute u to replace x minus 3. So it becomes integrate u power 2. And this one, it will become integrate u power 9 for B. And then for the C, it becomes integrate 4 u power 5 dx, right? Okay, so we are going to substitute the u, followed by we will substitute the dx. So when we see dx, we will substitute for A, we substitute du, right? So dx is equal to du for A. And then for the B, du is actually dx is 3 du over dx, so dx is 1 over 3 du, so we will substitute dx as 1 over 3 du into the b, right? So then we will substitute 1 over 5 du into the c. So meaning that we have to convert every terms into u and du, then only we can integrate. So for a we got u 3 over 3 plus c. For b we have the u 9 plus 1, so u 10 over 10, and then the 10 have to multiply by 3. Okay, it's being divided. And for c, u to the power of the 6, right? And the 4 still there, 4u6 over 6, and then we have to divide by the 5, right? So it becomes 4 over 30. So if you simplify, it will become 2 over 15, right? All right? Right, for this question, DEF, we are going to do 3 in 1, okay? So we are going to identify what is the U and what is the A, okay? Of course, we have to write the du dx, all right? So we do step by step. First thing is identify the U, and then after that, we have to do du dx, okay? Second step. All right, let's highlight the U. So the U is being highlighted in green color, 7x minus 3 for D. For E is 2x minus 6. And for F is 3x minus 2, right? So now we copy down the U. 7x minus 3, U is equal to 2x minus 6, and 3x minus 2. Now we are going to differentiate U with respect to x. So du dx is 7, du dx is 2, du dx is 3 for F, okay? So after we differentiate, we will write dx in terms of du. So it seems like dx is 1 over 7u. For E, 1 over 2 du, and for the F is 1 over 3 du. All right. So now we need to substitute into the question. That is so-called integration by substitution. So we substitute the u, we substitute the dx in terms of the du. So it becomes u 4 over 3. All right. So for E, it will be 12. All right, 12, and then u negative 3, right? The dx later we will substitute with the 1 over 2 du. So we will write down integrate 12, and then we will substitute u negative 3. Okay, for the F is 2 over 3, and we raise up the 3x minus 2 to become negative 2. So it will become 2 over 3 u to the power of negative 2 dx. Don't forget to raise up the power so that you can see how to apply the formula. It must be ax plus b to the power of n. All right. Okay, now we can actually substitute the dx. The dx is equivalent to 1 over 7 du for d. So we can substitute into there. So it becomes integrate u 4 over 3, and then times 1 over 7 du. And for the E, the dx is 1 over 2 du. So we have to write integrate 12 u negative 3, and we have to times 1 over 2 du. All right. And then for the F, the dx is 1 over 3 du. Okay. So we have to actually convert every terms into the u, then only we can integrate. So it becomes u5 over 21 for 21 over 5 for D, and then for the E, it becomes when you raise up the power, it will become negative 2, right? So that means you have to take 12 u negative 3, all right? Then you have to times with the 1 over 2 du. Then when you integrate, become 12u negative 3 plus 1 over negative 3 plus 1 times 1 over 2 du. So after you simplify, you will get the answer, which is as shown there. Alright, for the last one, actually you will get the answer negative 2 over 9 to the power of 3x minus 2, right? Okay, so that is how you solve using integration by substitution. Now let's proceed to another exercise. Integrate each of the following with respect to x. A, 4x plus 5 to the power of 4. So we are going to integrate by using substitution method. So integrate 4x plus 5 to the power of 4 dx is actually we focus on the 4x plus 5 to the power of 4, raise the power by 1, so divide by power, 4 plus 1 is 5, and we have to divide by 4, right, which is A. So finally we will get the answer, which is 4x plus 5 to the power of 5 over 20 plus C. Okay, please double check, you divide by A and you increase the power by 1. Alright, let's discuss B. For B, the 2 you can just copy down, and then we will focus to 3x minus 2, and the power have to raise up by 1 and have to divide by power plus 1. So 2 times 3x minus 2, 3 plus 1 will become 4. So 3x minus 2 to the power of 4 and divide by 4. And then we have to make sure we divide by the number that multiply by x, which is A. So actually the answer will be 3x minus 2 to the power of 4 divided by 6 plus C, right? Have to simplify the answer to the simplest form. So this is so-called integration by substitution. For C, we copy 5x minus 11 power 5 divided by 5, and don't forget divide by 5 again, which is the A, right? The A is a number that multiply by x plus C. Alright, so we are going to discuss further on exercise by using integration by substitution. So now let's proceed to the next exercise. So if you keep on practice, this exercise will be easy for you. So integrate each of the following with respect to x. So let's do it together. So 3x minus 2 to the power of 5 over 5. We are going to integrate this one by using integration by substitution. So we have D, E, and F. So let's do it now. Integrate 3x minus 2 to the power of 5 divided by 5 dx. Okay, so the one being divide 1 over 5, we can factorize the number. So 1 over 5 integrate 3x minus 2 to the power of 5 dx. We will get 1 over 5 times 3x minus 2, and then 5 plus 1 will be power 6, and we have to divide by 6. And after divide by 6, we have to divide by 3 again, because the 3 is the coefficient of the x, right? So it becomes 1 over 5 times 18, right? So it becomes 90. So 3x minus 2 to the power of 6 over 90. Alright, so for E and the F the same, 5 times 6x minus 3 to the power of negative 6. You have to bring up the power, become negative 6. So we are going to integrate this one. The 5 we can factorize. And then we integrate 6x minus 3 to the power of negative 6. So that means we are going to focus on integrate 6x minus 3 to the power of negative 6 dx. So we have to take the power of negative 6 plus 1, right? So it becomes 5 times 6x minus 3 to the power of negative 6 plus 1, which is negative 5, divided by negative 5. And don't forget, you have to divide by the 6, which is actually the coefficient of the x, right? Okay, so let's simplify. We will get 5 over 6 over negative 5, right? So we can cancel out the 5, become negative 1, so it becomes 1 over 6, right, with the negative, right? Okay, so answer is negative 1 over 6 times 6x minus 3 to the power of 5 plus c. Okay, so let's proceed to the last one, which is f. So the 12 we have to factorize. It becomes 12 times 3x minus 5 to the power of negative 8 dx. We are going to integrate and focus to the power negative 8 plus 1. So we will get negative 7. So we will copy down 3x minus 5. Negative 8 plus 1 be negative 7, right? So divide by negative 7. And don't forget you have to divide by 3. Okay, and the 3 you can simplify with the 12. So become 4. Alright, so finally your answer is negative 4 times 1 over 3x minus 5 to the power of 7. Right, okay, divided by 7. So finally the answer is negative 4 over 7 bracket 3x minus 5 to the power of 7 plus c. Alright, so okay, before I end the lesson, I would like to revise back the important formula, which is so-called integration by substitution. So please remember, this is the formula and you have to memorize it. We have to memorize the power raised up by 1. After that, we have to divide by two things. One is the coefficient of the x, which is a, and you have to divide by the power, which is raised up by 1, power plus 1. Okay, remember that you have to divide by two things. One is a, one is n plus 1. Okay, that's all. Bye bye and have a nice day.